always interesting, I've done thousands of lectures, and sorry, I know they're recording and they want to hear it. It's interesting because I've done thousands of lectures, and you hear about your introduction and you sit there and it feels like a broken record, but I'm also more concerned about you who have come to 500 of those thousands of lectures and have heard the same introduction. Anyway, it's really good to have you here. I think for the soul to make a conscious choice to be in a space like this, in times like this, speaks volumes. We are very powerful people. We know it. We perhaps especially recognize how powerful we are when we react and get upset. When we kind of lose it, right? When there's a little bit of jealousy or complaints, fear, self-doubt. Is there anyone in this room that has never had a moment in which you feel deep in your heart, I could have thought better, I could have said that better, I could have definitely done that better? And it's not to say that thinking of ourselves in a better state it means we're doing the worst. It's just saying it seems as if the progression of life is a consistent opportunity to refine my presence, to refine who I am, to refine who I am. I've been on my journey for over 25 years, and I've had the fortune of being raised around what we call the Brahma Kumaris community. I've been with some of the most profound, beautiful images of light. I've seen them, I've fed them, we've shared rooms together, we have gone on trips, we've traveled around the world together, we've argued, we've fought, we've cried together. And I have seen these images of light. I have seen these men and these women who consistently move towards refining themselves, refining who they are for them, not for you, who they are for themselves. And the reason why is because God told them that they could always be better. Like God told them, there's a little bit more about you, and I'm not quite sure why you're not seeing that right now. And even though my journey is that I have seen it, I have lived in it, I've had a wonderful opportunity of engaging in it, still I have to do my own work. Some of us can have the most positive environments that we grow up in, and we end up most negative. Some of us could have had the most negative environments, and we ended up the most positive people. So what is the working of the self, So everything about the teachings and the philosophy of the Brahma Kumaris is about getting to know who you are. Know yourself, know thyself. Know thyself, and don't wait for someone to tell you who you are. And don't wait for the front cover of a magazine to determine if you're beautiful or not, or GQ or not. But we have to know thyself. And I believe that if we haven't been listening or paying attention or intuitively sensing that having this thought isn't good for me, speaking what I'm about to speak isn't going to be good for me, much as for anyone else, that if we miss these opportunities where we just stopped paying attention on ourselves, we can become a very critical person. And we can become so critical that it almost becomes a natural behavior. How many of you in this room have actually realized that you perhaps gossip and you don't even know you're gossiping anymore? Thank you. Isn't that something? Now, did you know that gossiping isn't natural? Did you know it's not a natural state of our personality to gossip? You did know that, right? The reason why we especially know that is when we hear the gossip of others about ourselves and the way we react to it. That it can't be natural, because that's not right, what they said about me, and that's not who I am. And I don't believe there's anyone in this room who have not been affected by the comments or even the thoughts of someone else on our lives. Especially when it wasn't a positive thought and it wasn't a positive comment. I've walked into so many rooms and I could cut the vibration with a knife. I was like, I don't know why all this energy feels like it's all about me. And I could cut the room with a knife, but I can't prove it because I wasn't in the room before I entered. But something in my gut says the vibrations in this room just don't feel right for me. Now, in one way, people will say, well, it must be your energy, because we do attract whatever we're thinking. Have you ever heard about that? You hear you attract, you eventually become what you think, and you attract what you think. Have you heard that? Okay. So, let me just get this in line. Get that in my pocket. Let me get my glasses. Over here. Or maybe nice if I just tipped over, right? Were you all here a few lectures ago when I just, because I'm very independent, and everyone else was doing something and I moved the chair by myself and almost fell off the stage. And then they were like, oh my gosh, everybody lost their peace that night. So you find that you can walk into a room, into a relationship in front of someone, a space, and you can feel something doesn't feel right. So is it their vibration, their thoughts that I'm picking up? Or am I also partially responsible because I just know too well what negative vibrations feel like? You see, I can recognize negative vibrations if I'm an expert at negative vibrations. I can recognize negative vibrations if I've become an expert in negative vibrations. Go in front of somebody who is speaking to you Swahili, and you've never spoken Swahili. How do you look at the person? I don't know what you say. It's fine. You have no idea because you don't know it. But we know vibrations. We know when we have emanated the energy of criticism, jealousy, anger, dislike. We know what the energy feels like because our spirit feels it first. And if we're not paying attention to what we're thinking, then the soul starts to add up this vibration without me and you even knowing. And the only time we actually get to know is when a situation appears in front of me, or an event appears in front of me, which somehow triggers in me that feeling that I've not been paying attention to. Somebody disrespects me. We could spend so much time on telling 10 people how they disrespected me and spend absolutely no time to acknowledge if I've ever disrespected myself. And when we observe what it feels like from another person outside in, to feel what disrespect is like, then we get a very clear window. Is this what I do to myself each time I diss my truth? Is this really what I'm going through each time I devalue who I am? And I've not been paying attention to the accumulation of this recording in my spirit? You mean to tell me that's been adding up in me? Interesting, isn't it? So think about you making the choice to come here today. So my lovely sister who I hadn't seen for a very long time, and I was like, oh, is this your first time? She goes, I just haven't been here for a long time. I go, yeah, because I can't remember you, right? And the thing is, when our souls, when the thought in the soul says, go into this space, that's an accumulation. Every time my thoughts tell me to do something positive, to do something good, to do something healthy for my spirit, I'm accumulating. And it's important to acknowledge that. And it's important to recognize that. Because we're here today to talk about a critical voice. I found that it was much stronger when I was younger. Because when you're young, you're trying to identify yourself. You're trying to figure out who you are, and you're very impressionable. You know, especially if you've had a lot of elevated people growing up around you, you have to raise your bar really high. And I have to tell you, when you are around a lot of people who are consistently committed to refining their personality and showing up in the world with high morals, ethics, values, and character, it's really stressful if you've not been that for a while. And you really know that you need to be that and do that. You've got to put like 10 times more effort in working on yourself. So sometimes we might even find ourselves spending time with people who don't challenge us to get higher. Because getting higher sometimes feels like a stress, but actually I look at it more as an opportunity. It's an opportunity, it is a choice, it is a fortune, it is a blessing, it is a gift. So when you spend time with individuals who tend to not raise your bar, you know, you consider both of you to be on the same level, you're okay, you're not perfect, you know better than I am, then it's as if you're not testing yourself. You see? You're not really testing yourself. So you stay in that state, sort of comfortable, until your comfort turns into a kind of a pain, in which it shows itself in relationships not working, money not coming, health not doing well, physically you don't feel well, and things are just kind of tough, and you're not quite sure why, because a lot of the energy could be spent on the external, like what's going on in the external. This one did this one said this, and I haven't looked at me. So, you know, I found that sometimes your critical voice will come at the time when you need it the most. It might come when you feel like everything has been really, really hard on you, but it comes a little bit louder than you wanted it. And the criticism grows and it increases and it starts to hurt. It hurts. And it gets to a point where we can become so critical that it becomes even natural. That I naturally feel the pain without thinking anymore that this isn't good for me. So today I'd like us to really look at how do I break this pattern and break this familiarity with critical thinking, like a critical idea, critical vibrations being kind of negative. So it's important for us to look at what is the critical voice, you know, what is it saying, and just for a little bit, emerge maybe just today. Can you identify how many times you were critical? Because your critical voice has a lot to do with negative thoughts. Negative thoughts means I don't get anything from this. I don't earn anything from this. I'm not accumulating anything from this. It is loss. So when I'm having negative thoughts, I'm losing energy. When I'm losing energy, I'm getting weaker. When I'm getting weaker, I'm at the whim of every situation and circumstances that's going to come after me, because weak energy attracts negative situations. Interesting, isn't it? So Sometimes we have critical thoughts in our head in which we feel like we're not good enough. We feel inferior. And we can transform our sense of feeling inferior by actually trying to put someone down to feel like we're superior. Have you ever tried to defame someone's character, speak ill about someone, tell certain people negative things about somebody, knowing that they might go and tell a few more others to make it easier on you? Just because you want to feel superior, but that's actually an inferior act. That's a critical voice. And it's actually a sign that I don't feel that I'm good enough when I'm with this person. It's interesting. And don't get too heavy, because all of this we have to laugh at ourselves, because we do it all the time. And today is about us becoming very honest and clear that I'm not going to do that after today. At least I'm going to start to reduce it after today. So the feeling of not feeling good enough is huge for many of us. We never ever feel like we add up. And when somebody walks around like they're all that, you're like, you know, because they don't feel like you all that, right? It's as if we observe them even more, you know? So it's important for us to even identify, have you ever found yourself questioning if you've loved enough in certain relationships that didn't work? When you've been in a marriage and you look back, it's as if the end, when you approach the end of your marriage or relationship, your thoughts take you back to how it was in the beginning. It's incredible. You start to think about, did I mess up here? Could I have put more in? Did I make a mistake? Did I miss something? Did I love enough? And every time you look at this question, if I've loved enough, always you'll say, I could always love more. I can always love more. Doesn't mean I have to stay with the person, but I could definitely release them with love and respect. I could have always loved more. So, you know, the repercussions of a critical voice comes out in this way, where even my energy of love gets attacked. So we could also check if I've been kind enough. Very simple. It's as simple as, where was I recently? I think I was at the airport and somebody was just rushing through TSA. You know, if you haven't gotten clear, I would really suggest you get clear, so you don't have to wait in that big line. But I couldn't find my clear place, so I went into my TSA pre. Could I have some water, someone? And I went into the TSA pre, and there was this lady, I assumed she was really late, and she just sort of pushed her way through in the front. And I watched the other people in front. They were really, really very harsh with her. Very harsh. Because they too might have been late for their flight too. But I remembered this when I was putting the PowerPoint together. Was I kind enough? That there are some times that you really do have to be kind when you really don't really need to be nasty. You know, am I kind enough? Because when you're not kind, what do? You criticize. Weird, right? So, I'd like us to go through a little bit of a meditation right now. And I'd like you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself how it actually feels if you can recall a memory, a moment, and you were a little bit critical. How it makes you feel mentally, emotionally, physically, and have you observed that criticism impacting your relationships? Observe how it feels in your body when you're critical. Emotionally. Did it disturb a relationship? Example, how do you feel when you're critical towards your supervisor or manager, do you get close to them or do you keep at a distance? Do you speak to others about them? Do you create a tribe at work that support your views? How do you feel emotionally, mentally, physically? So it's really important to check the damaging effect that comes from being critical in your thinking. And to make this conscientious choice, I don't want to feel like this. I don't want my relationships to be like this. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. How did that feel? Was it pleasant? It wasn't pleasant at all, was it? Did you feel any sense of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I think that? Kind of shame, almost ashamed at yourself that you did that, you thought like that, felt like that? Can you imagine if we did this every day in our lives, of having critical thoughts or having a critical voice going on, what it's actually doing to us? Right? It's sort of like they have this pilgrimage called Amarnath in India, and pilgrims go there and it's an arduous journey. And they go to this sort of a cave, and when you go in, it has this, I haven't seen it myself, I've just heard the stories and I've seen the images. They have this oval-shaped stone inside the cave, which got formed over a long period of time as a result of the drippings and the drops from within the cave. So imagine if every day I keep having these thoughts, what is it forming in me? And I'm not paying any attention to it. Right? So what I'd like you to do to replace that pattern of your critical voice is to try this exercise with me right now. Again, close your eyes. Close your eyes and, oh, okay, now do another one here. Close your eyes and ask yourself very firmly with your feet on the ground, ask yourself, what does appreciation or gratitude want of me? What does appreciation want of me? Observe your answer. What does gratitude want of you? And when you're ready, I would love to hear what answers emerged. When you asked your own spirit, what does appreciation want of me? What does gratitude want of me?
Wants me to embrace it.
It wants me to embrace it. Good. Any other answers?
To come to the table and stay.
To come to the table and stay. Excellent. Anyone else? Huh? A calm mind. Beautiful. Anybody else? Freedom. Excellent answer. Anybody else? What did your appreciation or gratitude tell you it wanted of you?
To be open to relationships.
To be open to relationships. Great. Great answer. Great answer. Did that feel better than the first experiment? Do you see that? Now, what if we did this every day in, day out, day in, day out? What do you think would form in your personality, in your spirit? Something very powerful. So can I ask you to do this every day? Now I need to find a way to remind you and how to do that every day, right? And I don't think that we should let pain be the trigger to remind us. What did Sister Jenna say again in that workshop? If you get tired of asking yourself what appreciation and gratitude means to you, what it wants from you, then I use this one all the time. We call God in the Brahma Kumaris Baba. You know, like our Christians would say Abba. Jesus used to call God Abba because it touched your innocence. So we would call God Baba because we don't want to go to God as an adult. We want to go to God as a child. So we would say, Baba, what is it that you think of me? And what would Baba say? Answers, please. Anyone? What would Baba say that he's thinking of you? You're perfect.
We are loved.
We're loved. We are loved. You're perfect. What else? Huh? Yeah, I'm a part of you. You're a part of me. Come on, behave yourself, right? What else? What else? What would God think of you? You could feel everything positive coming from that, right? So if this energy, which is so pure and so unlimited and belongs to everyone, always has my best interest, have you ever asked yourself, then why am I so critical towards one of his children? Or why am I critical towards myself? Now this energy keeps saying, when I think of you, I think of love. I think of how beautiful you are. I think of how good your spirit is. I think that I made you in my image. I think about you in the highest way. But if you find yourself walking around in life thinking about what your mother used to tell you as a child, what your auntie and your uncle told you, what the media tries to tell you you are, what your last lover or last husband or last spouse or even the way your children speak to you now tell you, and you keep those feelings in your heart, it's as if you're exiting his voice. It's like we're exiting what Baba told us. But Baba didn't say I was this. Do you hear me? Baba didn't say I was no good. Baba didn't say I was a liar. Baba didn't say I can't be trusted. Baba didn't say I'm worthless. Baba didn't say that race is higher than mine. Baba didn't say that religion is better than mine. Do you understand how much we have to train ourselves, retrain ourselves to believe in the truth? When you are truthful with yourself, you will heal. And when you lie to yourself, you will keep hurting yourself. Honest people heal. Liars don't. The critical voice in the head is a consistent story of a liar. Someone who doesn't know how to tell the truth. Because it's consistently trying to berate others because it's in a state of a berated self. What I'd love you to do in this moment is just very quietly and from your own internal reflected self, turn to someone in the room, to your left or to your right, and look at them with the thoughts of how God would think of you, without saying a word. Just look at the person to your right, to your left, behind you, in front, and just look at them with the eyes of what and how God, Baba, would think of them. By how you feel God thinking of you. Observe how it's making your system feel. And don't feel insecure if someone's looking at you with too much love. And if someone ain't looking at you, you give them some love. We so rarely look at each other in the eyes anymore because we're always looking down. We're like, I'll be right there. Didn't that make you feel good? At first it gets a little uncomfortable, like, but when, if I did this exercise with you 3-4 times, you would feel so much better on the 5th or 6th or 10th time. If I tell you to just look at that person in the way that God would think of you. Try it one more time and see how it gets better. See, you start to get to a place of joy. Exactly. Because the more you start to take care of your inner world, the more happiness starts to find you. You start to feel playful. You start to feel like a child. You start to feel like, I don't have to take everything so seriously and so like final. It's like, hey, can you imagine going home to your spouse who you don't get along and you haven't been talking to each other all week, and you look at him like that? He'd be like, are you okay? Are you going to divorce me or something? You'd be like, no, honey, just came from the meditation museum. So I'd like to leave you with this tip. And this tip will help you to be able to charter through reducing the patterns of having a critical voice. It's called traffic control. Always remember this, it's so useful. And the traffic control is where every hour on the hour you pause and you remember one good thing about yourself. You can set it on your iPhone or your smartphone, where every hour on the hour you can get chimed in. Ding! Remember how good you are. Ding! Remember something good about you. Ding! I am worthy. Ding! I'm at peace. Ding! Don't say what you're about to say to that person. Ding! And that's how it gets throughout a day. You understand that when you do the every hour on the hour, it will help you to feel better. So if you just take 30 seconds, 60 seconds, every hour on the hour, this is your mental exercise, and nobody needs to know what you're doing. Your little beep goes off, and you go, remember something good about you. Don't try to rush ahead at the result of how you're supposed to feel by practicing to remember how good you are. Just enjoy being present. That 30 seconds ago, I just remembered how good I was, how good I am. And you'll find that over a period of time, and you do it consistently, you start to walk around the place refined, feeling true and honest about yourself. And once you feel honest about yourself, you're healing. You're healing. Second thing is, when you get ready to turn in and go to bed, I'd like you to observe how you are feeling about yourself when you lay down. Because what starts to happen is that all the energy of the day starts to sort of settle and start to emerge. What bothered you that day will come up. Because whenever you're relaxed, when your water is cool, when the lake is cool, when the pool is cool, debris comes up. So when you're relaxed, there are two things that can happen in a state of relaxation. Your creative ideas emerge, and your garbage emerges. And then you can choose out with the garbage, keep the creative stuff. Do you understand? So be very, very just cognizant of when you're relaxing and you're about to lay down. What is great? So all of these things you can do when you're in motion. You don't have to be at the museum to do it. You're consciously in motion, but you're paying attention. With your eyes closed, when you're about to close your eyes before you fall asleep, try to see God's light hovering over you, saying, you did good. Try it tonight. When you lay down and you just close your eyes and you're going to bed, say, Baba, your light is hovering over me. You did good today, and tomorrow you'll do better. And fall asleep. You sleep like a baby, and you'll wake up like an angel. Om Shanti. Wasn't that simple? Yeah. So it's so valuable for us to really pay attention to loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves. And I'd like to invite Sister Gita up to read a poem. Sister Gita, can you come up to read a poem that you had in your treasure store today? Sister Gita has been practicing meditation and yoga for over 35 years. We call her the mother of the place, so we call her Mama Gita. And if you've not come to her Cooking for Peace and tried her Jamaican jerk tofu, you have not lived. So she gave Oprah Winfrey her Jamaican jerk tofu. It was no joke. That jerk tofu was good. So please come on up. I consider Sister Gita an artist. She's extremely theatrical. She's very animated. She's herself. She doesn't stage anything. She could be meeting kings and queens of countries and she gets up and starts to dance with them. When we were with Oprah at the UN, she just grabbed Oprah and started to dance with her, doing this Indian dance called Ras Leela, and I just watch. I go, let her be, girl. Because you know, if you step it, it's going to look bad on you. So I just let her be who she needs to be, and I've realized that that's the meaning of love. When you really don't change people, but you just support whomever they need to be. So I offer you Sister Gita.
What a lovely instrument Sister Jenna is, huh? And the things she talked about today, I was remembering what God thinks of you. And I remembered many years ago, 30 odd years ago, I had this wonderful experience with God Himself. And He looked at me with so much love and so much truth and so much wisdom and said, do you know who you are? You are a Shakti. Anyone here is Indian? No. Shakti. Yeah. So the Shakti means a powerful woman. You are a Shakti. You are courageous. You are brave. You have good enthusiasm. You are not the one who gets disheartened. And I said, sometimes. And he said, no. You have good enthusiasm. Maintain it forever. Whatever comes in front of you, maintain this enthusiasm and you will have success easily. And then I said, what's going to come in front of me? And there was great silence and laughter. I was in Madhuban, the headquarters in India. But the idea is, when I had that experience, it was so lovely, felt so true. But did I practice it? Or did I allow the critical voice to come inside of me and erase that? Yeah? So my realization from this topic was, I need to practice, keep practicing all of those experiences I've had. God gave me an experience of Vishnu. Indian hands? Vishnu represents the perfect you, full of virtues and good qualities, and I had that experience. And I thought I didn't have to study anymore or practice, that was it. Now today I'm realizing how important it is to keep replaying and practicing the experiences that you've had and the good things to talk to yourself about. So this I will share with you. I beg your pardon. Om Shanti is a language we use. Yes. And Om means? Right, you're a soul. I'm a soul. I'm not the body. Shanti means peace. So everyone please say Om Shanti. Om Shanti. We need to remind ourselves each day that we're Om Shanti. Right? Okay. So this is a miracle, me reading, because I seldom, Okay. This is the power and effort of your thoughts. I must first learn to really see and watch myself, to recognize my real nature, my high qualities, and above all, learn to love myself. Who here love themselves? Working on it. Very honest answer. You love yourself, you never have disharmony. There won't be anything going on with you and anyone else because you love yourself. So you naturally are going to love everyone else. Yeah? So there won't be any disharmony. So who here loves themselves?
Working on it.
Working on it. This is an honest answer. Okay. So, above all, learn to love the self. It may sound strange, I must love myself, but we all expect love, harmony, and attention from others. So if I don't have this love and attention from myself, how can I expect those from others? Yeah? This is not possible. It's a psychological law. If I have a strong sensor in myself, if I always criticize myself, have high ideals and little love and kindness for myself, I will be the same way to others. What a realization this was for me. If I don't have love and I'm not kind to myself, I will be the same to others. So, if I want to change something in myself, I must follow these steps. The steps are loving myself, having attention on myself, and be kind to myself. Amazing, huh? Now, I beg your pardon, step 1, realize who I really am, that my real nature is positive. As I go into these thoughts, actively take and accept them and discover that I am really like that, I will produce a state of consciousness that will teach me always to watch myself, to love and accept myself exactly the way I am, no matter how I may be feeling at that time. I must learn to love myself. No matter how many mistakes I make, or corners or rough edges I may have, I know now that I am really positive and everything else is a disturbance. In this way, I can handle other people's criticisms quite calmly. If I have this attitude, have built up deep attention for myself through my own recognition, of the truth, then I can sit down and take a little time each morning to imprint. I beg your pardon, I should have glasses on, I don't. To imprint positive thoughts, and in this way I can slowly move up the ladder. It does not take much time. Loving the self. I have had a great realization with this, because all the experiences I've had in Raj Yoga, why has it changed? You know, there was a time that I would walk into a room and people would say, "Who are you?" May I share this? I went for an audition once, and there was this gentleman looking at me, and in my mind I'm thinking, why is he looking at me like that? And when I finished the part, he came up to me, he says, "Go to Miami-Dade Community College, they're looking for a counselor." And I said, "Me? I don't have a diploma for counseling." He says, "No, you don't, but there is something about you." And that came from my experience of Raj Yoga, the things that were, you know, the vibrations coming through me. So I went for I did go, although I told him no. And the director said, "Do you have the diplomas, this? Have you ever done counseling?" I said, "No." And then he said, he has a list of people who have all of those experiences. And then he told me to come back the next day and meet the other team members. And I said, "Why you said that? You said you had so many people with diplomas and hands-on experience. Would you believe what this man said?" And it's really, really true, because when I walked into the college, I felt light all around in that college and great happiness. Jeff Rosenberg said, "But there is something about you." I was amazed, because he said the same thing that the actor said. And so it was the vibrations coming from me, from Raj Yoga meditation. And I got the job. And it was amazing. All credited to the vibrations and the power that I got at that time from Raj Yoga meditation. Amazing. Yes, so wonderful. So the next step is to understand that disturbances are nothing to get upset about, and that they are there to learn from. Whatever is going on, if turmeric is acting up or whatever, there is a lesson for me to learn. Have you met turmeric? Please stand up, turmeric.
When you spend a lot of time around here, you get nicknames. And your nickname is based on your speciality and what you have to work on. But only internal folks know that, you know. Please continue with the...
Okay. So they are there for you to learn from. With each mistake I learn, and the whole thing is just a consciousness training. I can take advantage of each mistake. If someone shouts at me and I get upset, then I did not have enough stability. Yet what we do, we blame the person. We don't check inside to see what's going on. Why did I take pain from that? So I get upset because I did not have enough stability. Next time, I must take a minute to think before going into a conference, for example. In this way, I can recognize quite clearly where I stand, and I handle myself like a kind and wise counselor, or like a kind and wise father who does not withdraw his love from his child, who has made a mistake but has a deep belief in the child nonetheless, that the child will develop positively and he will help him to take the next step. These constructive, good-wishing thoughts always have great vibrations. They will always stabilize us. So, checking inside. But oftentimes what we do, we have a finger of blame, blaming others. This one did this one is like that. But if I work on my inside, then, right, we can remain stable. So that was a great realization for me. Power and effect of your thoughts.
Please give a big hand to Sister Gita.
Thank you. Thank you. She's a lovely instrument.
As we continue.
She does your hair. She encourages you. She gives everyone the chance to uplift themselves. Always she does that. Put others ahead. Very lovely.
How much do I owe you? Thank you so much, Sister
Okay.
Gita.
Om
Thank you.
Shanti. Okay.
So as we got the reading from Sister Gita, thoughts. It's all about thoughts. It's all about what we're thinking and what those thoughts are doing. And so I leave you this evening with the invitation. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Pay attention to how these thoughts are making you feel. And I usually have to make the queen get off her. She's so graceful, you know. She glides in a room and she glides out. Oh, by the way, that's my mother, if you all don't pick that up by now. It's a lot of accommodation. But the point of the story is, check your thoughts. Do these thoughts make me feel good? Do they refine me? Would God have this thought? That's it. And if those thoughts can match divinity and grace and Baba and beauty, I guarantee it, you're going to be fine. No one has to look out for you, and you don't have to live a life of fear. It'll be okay. I'm not saying that everything will go your way, because it won't. We always have a little bit of residue of vibration sitting there to make it a little bit exciting. If it went our way, we'd be so bored, don't even ask. So it's good when a little bit of drama comes, no? Little. Well, little. And so what happens when that little drama comes, I've found that what we have learned in Brahma Kumaris is that whatever drama or obstacle or situation emerge in our lives, they're actually reminding us or triggering us about a power that we hold. There are 8 core powers, and if we use them at the right time, we will find success. And the more we use these powers, you can see them, they're also at the reception desk, the more we use these powers, the stronger we feel. We can feel like no one can come into my life and deceive me. At least 9 out of 10 I'll be fine. The one, okay, you missed me. I missed this one. Remember, our illusions and our struggles will come in different forms. They won't come in the same faces. They might not come in the same places, but they will come. They will come in different forms to try to help us to find our power. And it's when we don't apply our power that we realize we need more wisdom. I need more wisdom. I need more attention. I need more love. Right? So as of tonight, let's reduce and turn down that critical voice, amplify the voice of love and compassion and gratitude. How will the divine think of me? I'd like to take a moment of reflection in silence and just sit together in kindness, in care. And I leave you with this last question that I got from my friend, author Diane Hayworth. And the question is, what does love want of me? What does love want of me? Right here, right now. What does it want of me? Observe how that makes you feel, and observe your answer. And whatever that answer is, now speak to it and say, now, what do you want me to do? From that place. What do you want me to do with this? Let's hold a moment of silence. Whenever you're ready, just feel comfortable to emerge back into the room. Take a deep breath. Breathe in twice. I learned a new technique today from Nathaniel Dust on the radio show. And he teaches a breathing program called breath work. And he says you take 2 breaths in through your mouth, from your stomach first, and from your chest. And you breathe out through your mouth. And I thought it was so interesting, and I tried it over the air and I went, oof, wow, I actually felt something. So you go like, and I said, it's incredible how ancient techniques are coming back. Breathing was something we did back in the days, long ago, when we used to exercise more and move logs and cut down trees and make fires and cook and do all these things. And now we don't move around as much, so we're not breathing as much as we used to. So try to breathe even more now. All right? So any thoughts to share before we close off with Sister Antonia, aka Turmeric? Any thoughts? Anything touched your heart from today's conversation? Does anyone have a question?
I don't have a question, but I just want to say, as you know, I've been coming here for a number of years, and I love you and your mother, Sister Gita, and this is my last time here because I'm moving, and I'm going to miss you guys. think that if anybody that's been here for the first time or if you're coming back, this is a wonderful place to come. And I learned so much, and I feel so much better when I've been here. And I really needed it because I've been pretty stressed lately. So, thank you.
We're going to miss you. You're going to Egypt?
I am going to.
We have a center in Egypt, in Cairo.
Around the prayers in
Mhm.
Egypt, where?
Yeah, I'll give you the address. So now, see, we take care of you. Don't worry. Be watching you. We're going to miss you. It's been a delight seeing you in so many programs. And I'm glad that we've become family and friends. Yes. Anyone else with any thoughts to share tonight? Okay, Sister Antonia, would you like to do closing remarks?
I'm back. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. And let's give a hand to Sister Jenna for an exciting time. Sister Jenna is producing a new CD that's coming out soon. But in the meantime, we have her other two that she has, Off the Grid Into the Heart and Inclusion Revolution. So we have our Christmas special. You can get 2 CDs for only $12.99. So if you're interested, we have those in the back of the reception desk. And also today we have a book sale, 50% off book sale, and that's in the back as well. And in your seat, you have a card for the Meditation Museum that has information about us and also the free app that we have called Pause for Peace. If you haven't downloaded that yet, please do. Sister Jenna hosts a daily radio show called America Meditating, and we have like over 3 years worth of episodes on the app that are available. Inspiring authors, politicians, entertainers, all sorts of self-help experts that are talking, and it's a very good program. So please check that out if you haven't done so already. And I think those are all the announcements that I had. So now we're going to have a brief meditation, and after that, if you could come up row by row to get a blessing card from Sister Jenna, that would be great. And thank you again for coming.
I have good news to share. I've come with good news to bear. We just got on Spotify for America Meditating Radio. So please follow us on Spotify. Not follow because of the numbers, but I came to realize that people don't want to hear you if you don't have numbers. And I'm like, really? But we have content. We very rarely ever, but this is where, now we do invite you to share the conversations from your Facebook or Twitter and just take that second, because I think the work that is being offered here is so priceless and so valuable. And the fact that everything is really being done as donation, contribution, it's just that we love what we do. We really do. And so we were just very happy that Spotify picked it up. And so I've been listening to it on the Spotify channel now. So you can tune in. Just Google podcasts, America Meditating with Sister Jenna, and you can see it. So thanks again for coming. And please, on behalf of all of us, I'd like to thank Brother Thomas in the back, who's been working on a new system for the camera, and Issa and Santosh and Janvi, and of course, Sister Antonia. Everyone here volunteers their time and energy. No one gets a salary. It's how much we love what we do. Over 250 events. No one gets a salary, not even pocket money. Everyone just loves what they do. So we foster the environment of service. Find a way within your being. It serves your spirit the more you volunteer your time and energy to something you like. So where there's service, you can feel like the universe is in debt to you. And so when you're giving just openly and from your heart, then you just know for sure nobody can count how it's going to come back. Because I'm giving completely from everything in me. So, all right, so we'll do a little meditation, and thanks again. Remember your cards on your chair and make yourself comfortable. Please make sure your phones are on silence or off. What I'd like to do is take you on a journey inside. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Settle. Observe what you're feeling inside. And let's start from that place. Sometimes we don't know where to begin with the emotions that we're feeling or with the thoughts that we're having, or just the story of what we're going through in life. But just start here. Whatever's emerging, just start here. Start with the awareness that I'm going to accept me as I am. I'm going to accept me as I am, where I am. Whatever I'm going through with whomever I'm going through with. Whatever I'm going through with whomever. Let me accept it. Right here, right now. And so as I turn my attention inwards, focus on my thoughts behind my eyes. If I could see myself with my physical eyes, I'd look like a star. A subtle energy of light. And if I'm able to keep focusing on my true self, this energy of light, I start to feel like I'm getting more calm, more at peace with myself. Settled. As I sit here in the awareness of my inner being, starting with all that I am and accepting all that I am, I invite the energy of God's love. I invite Baba to remind me of how he thinks of me. Baba, how do you think of me? What do you see when you look at me? I can sense that you're reminding me of the good that I am, the good that I've always been, but also the beauty, the power, the grace, and a special kind of presence that I bring into the world. I can see that you see me like this. I can feel it. So in this moment of solitude, and in this moment of stillness, I choose to listen to truth. I choose to listen to what is real about me. What you say I am, not what anyone else says. Not even what they think about me. I just want to hear and see what you see in me. And live that. Speak it. Think it. And feel it. I'm learning how to love myself again. I'm learning how to be at peace with myself. And I'm learning that what people's opinions are of me are theirs. But let me be opened to finding room for improvement and refinement. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm here to improve, to refine, to become myself again. And I do that because of your vision of me, Baba. Because you keep seeing the best in me and you keep reminding me I am the best. I allow these thoughts to nurture my mind, the cells in the body, vibrate throughout the room, and transcend into my relationships, finances, country, world. It's up to me. It's entirely up to me. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. Breathe in again. And exhale. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.